Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Today's Thursday, July 15th, 2021. Hope you're having a great start to your day. We're going to go ahead and touch up on the overall market, go over some economic data, and get right into our main watch list. All right. So, hope you guys are starting your day right, focusing on the things that matter. Now, let's get a little bit into the economic data. If you guys are watching, we do have today at 9:15 a.m., we have industrial production capacity utilization at 9:15 a.m. Then the Fed Reserve starts speaking at 9:30 a.m. So it's right at the open. We do have Federal Chair Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. So take your time on this at the open. Gets a little bit choppy when he starts speaking. And again, we're not really looking to take on a lot of trades at the open. Just slow and steady. We'll be watching two names. Now, if you've watched the S&P American futures, we're actually consolidating after recent gains. We did close in a positive territory yesterday. We did see the European sessions under pressure, and we did see the Asian sessions close again in distressed order. So again, we'll be watching the broad market. Crude oil is again on the downside. WTI, the price is on the downside into this morning, and OPEC Plus is close to a deal. Okay, last week we did have them move the dates, push the dates back a little bit, so we didn't get to a deal. Now coming into this week, the terms of output limit next year with the United Arab Emirates, they're trying to get to a deal with that. So we'll see how this plays out. And again, won't keep you guys drained in regards to the news. We'll keep you guys posted once they release anything regarding to that. All right. So, but again, they're touching up on the week and ending in July 9. Reported that crude oil stockpiles dropped about 7.90 million barrels. All right, for the week ending in July 9. That's larger than expected decline of 4.36 million barrels expected. All right. So just a little bit of data. Now, let's get a little bit more in depth into our watch list if you're watching /ES. And again, just for the people that weren't with us, we did see a slight squeeze on the long side. And we did start to see actually a retest of that low. And if you've watched, 43.70 is the rejection range. All right. So if you're trying to see where to trade, where to take on the upside, we have to clear that 43.70 for some more upside today. Very, very critical. If you can't take out that 43.70, we'll start rejecting. And you guys could see the moment it rejected 43.70, it pulled back about 30 points, give or take, to 43.40. All right. So take your time on the market. And again, support and resistances. 43.70 will act as a resistance level into this morning. If we could take out that 43.70, we'll be looking for that 43.76 and 43.84. And again, 43.76 was a key level we had. You guys could see the rejection at that range. And 43.84 is the high that actually rejected and never actually continued to hold. So take your time on the market. Let's make some money today and focus on the things that matter. Now, let's get a little bit more in depth and touch up on our watch list. Let me send you guys Roku this morning. We'll be trading some momentum again, focused on momentum names at the open, especially when you got Powell speaking. Don't want to babysit a trade, don't want to be in a trade for super long. So I'm focused on the quick scalps in and out. And again, can't talk about momentum and not talk about Roku. If this sets up, guys, at 414.30, this is right at a range. Again, either, as we say, a very, very critical range, either a break to the downside or break to the upside. It's been consolidating. We actually saw a massive drop yesterday on Roku from 430 all the way to 415, and it actually consolidated at that 415 to 419 range for about 4-pointer. Until we started seeing the pre-market session weakness under 414.30. So if you're watching Roku into this morning, very critical to stay over that 414.30 if you're looking for any upside on this. If it can hold, that's totally fine. As you guys can see in the pre-market session, it's already rejecting. So we'll start watching the support level at 411. And again, take your time on it. Don't go rushing Roku at the open. Take your time, let it consolidate. Either a break for directional play, wait for a break out of that 414.30 or a bounce at 411. If it comes to 411 bounces, that's ideal entry always. But for momentum trades, sometimes you'll have a breakout. So again, just start focusing on this. If it has momentum, rallies at the open, you start seeing that 414.30 break. There's a quick 4-point scalp, almost, or 3.5 points to 418. And with strong continuation, we'll start coiling back to the upside and reversing. Start revisiting that 425 range, and potentially we'll start revisiting that 433 if we get there. So take your time on the market, take your time on Roku. The break on that 411 to the downside is huge as well. We have a lot of weakness back to that 397, but along the way you can see there's a stop at 405. So take your time. If this starts breaking down as well, we're not biased. You can see what happened with Beyond Meat yesterday. We spoke about Beyond real quick, and we said, hey guys, this comes to our range. If we break under that 133, it's weak. If it bounces that 133, that would be an ideal trade. You could catch a really good move or catch a nice reversal. If you guys saw what happened, we never really had it never really held that 134.50 or that 133. So that was a quick trade for a point and a half from 134.50 to 133. And then under 133, you see the weakness. It went all the way to 127. So almost another 6 point where the stock just gave up completely after giving up a macro key level support, and also had a gap fill to the downside under that 133. So it did fill the gap yesterday on Beyond. Again, quick trade, just gave up completely at that support. Kind of the same example today into this morning with Roku. If we can actually hold that support level, that's good. But if we can't, not biased on this, we'll take it to the downside. Now, let's get into the second watch list. We have second company we have on watch. If you're watching Tesla, looking for some momentum plays, all right? So if you're watching this Tesla today, 660, let me send you guys the level. Boom, there we go. Okay, cool. So if you're watching Tesla at 660, very critical. We have to hold 660, guys, to the upside. I did see yesterday actually a slight bounce over 660 to 664, rejected that level. So I'm not going to take a 4-point scalp at the same range of rejection towards price of close. You can see at PDC, previous day close, came back, pushed 4 points, came to retest 660, never really closed, and started pulling back to some downside, seeing 654. So I'm not biased on Tesla. That's why you guys could see the support and resistance has a 10-point accumulation range. I'm looking to trade over the 660 or under 650. I'm not looking to trade the distribution. If there's a bounce at 650, that is ideal entry for me. If we pull back 6 points and we reverse 650, that is a great trade right then and there. And we'll keep a look at order flow and tape as usual, but I have to make sure that 650 can bounce. If we can hold 650, not biased on this, because we'll continue to sell off a little bit right into that 646 and potentially revisit 640. If this can rally and close 660, at least into the second half of the day, there might be a huge potential for some more upside to 664 and 670. And you guys can see the range. If it takes out 670, obvious resistance is 679, which was the prior key level that it rejected. And you could go back yesterday on the chart, see where they had a quick pump and dump at 11:15 on the 5-minute, try to push over that 676 level. Didn't really hold or close over it, and then started pulling back. Stock almost dropped 20 points instant after it tried to retest that resistance and failed to close over. That's why sometimes on days where Powell is speaking or there is some chop, you want to wait for confirmation continuation. Setups ideal. 5-minute confirms, second 5-minute continues over the level. And if the stock can't continue to hold over that specific resistance as a new support, or vice versa for puts, you're exiting the trade and you're being very firm with that stop loss, right? So take your time on Tesla. Again, 666 and 675 was yesterday's resistance and support. You guys can kind of see it did push to 675, give or take 60 cents, maybe a dollar, and then it never really closed. Look at the body, never really closed over that level. So don't get tricked on Tesla. Sometimes they tend to do that. And take your time on this. Again, 650, 660, 10-point distribution range. Don't go trading in the middle unless you're catching a bounce or a rejection. And again, 2 ways to go about this. If we come to 660 reject, we'll be watching the distribution to 650. If it breaks out for 4 points over 660 to 664, that's a 4-point scalp, but I don't get biased after the first target because sometimes you'll be waiting for those. You'll be seeing those sell orders waiting pretty much as you get closer to that resistance. So always lock in that profit. Especially if you're scalping momentum. Take your time on the market. If you guys need me, DM me, and let's make some money, guys. Again, it gets a little choppy when Powell speaks, so cash is a position. And if you guys need me, DM me. Let's make some money, team. In and out, guys.